Hello, welcome to HCCTV Student Lounge. This is a show done by HCC students for HCC students to give our opinions, entertainment, news, and what's going on in your school. My name is Caragon. How are you, Carolina?
Hey, Gaio, it's so good to see you. We're also joined today by Benjamin, Josh, Andres, and Eric. And we will also be joined by our guest, Dr. Nithy, who is here to talk about the new policies going on about the international students. But first, let's move on into our top 4 news of the week. First, the Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs announced emergency response program supporting artists. MOCA's call boosts more than 3 million in artist opportunities in effort to help those affected by the economic downturn of COVID-19. Also, the University of Houston designs an air filter that can catch and kill COVID-19. They said this filter could be used in airports and in airplanes, in office buildings, schools, and cruise ships to stop the spread of COVID-19. Also, like you noticed, there is extreme heat continuing in Houston with triple-digit temperatures. Heat is one of the leading weather-related killers in the U.S., resulting in hundreds of fatalities each year and even more heat-related illness. The National Weather Service offers some heat safety tips, and they have a resource. It's a free app called OSHA Heat Safety. You can find it for Android or iPhone. It shows the risk range from the minimal to extreme and some precautions that we can consider. Now, as of July 14, Trump's administration backs down our restriction for international students. Yay! A judge announced Tuesday the administration is reciting its directive blocking international students from staying in the United States while taking online classes. The U.S. District Court Judge Allison Del Burroughs in Massachusetts announced Tuesday that the government and plaintiffs had reached a resolution in a lawsuit brought by Harvard University and the MIT. Now, normally we will go to our debate section, but for today we are extending our guest of the day for a little longer. Kyle, what are you doing?
I'm unpacking. I can finally stay here. Yay! But seriously, those are great news. I'm really excited. We're actually here to talk exactly about that. We have today Dr. Nithy. He's the Director of International Services at HCC, and we have a few questions for him. Even though things are changing, we still want to make sure that we are knowledgeable of what's going on in our school and what we're doing to provide for the students. Hi, Nithy. How are you today?
I'm good, Kai. How are you? Thanks for having me on the Student Lounge. It reminiscent my days as being a student, hanging out with my fellow students, especially international students. So this moment brought that memory for me. Thank you for bringing that for me. So as you know that, we just heard the greatest news. I'm very glad to hear that you are staying. All of you are staying. So we're not going anywhere. We are staying. Remember, this is the best news we can ever ask for. And the most importantly, and HCC is very committed to have you here because you bring some really, really important values to us, to our community, to our faculty, and to our peers in this classroom. So the exchange go beyond that. And the most important thing that takes place throughout this journey is the friendship and lifelong understanding of that every culture that comes together have something good, we learn, we grow. If we look at the United States, most of the big Fortune 500 companies are engined by people like you, correct? If you look at some of the CEOs are engined by people like you who came here 20, 30 years ago. They dream to make something good. And that's what these results of this court case outcome is to make something good because all of us have a dream and that dream can shape for the common good, not just for one people, for the common good. You look at the CEO of Google, the CEO of Microsoft, the CEO of IBM, all of them were former international students. Think about your journey now. I know this could be stressful, but the court case was announced 3 hours ago, was a great victory, and we need to navigate these moments. At this point, I only request people like you not to pack, not to go anywhere, just stay calm, stay relaxed. I know that's a tough thing to do because it keeps you very anxious and uncertain. But as a director of this unit and a person who was a former F1 and a J1, I only can say one thing. The only mantra you can take away from this conversation is to stay calm. We are navigating this in the most careful way to make sure Kiao, Carolina, Andreas will never leave the country. All right? And I expect Eric, Benjamin, who else am I missing, will help you to stay here.
Those are the people pretty much that you mentioned here. But at the same time, I know they would miss me a lot if I'm gone. So in a certain way, we were impacting them too, you know?
Absolutely.
And in this note of talking about being impacted, what do you think would be the consequences in case all those international students really need to go back home? And I mean like financially, even, you know, for the school, what do you think would happen?
So historically, the data point shows as of before the court case, we have about close to 1.2 million international students in the US. And they contribute close to $40 billion, not million, $40 billion. Not only that, they support a lot more jobs, a lot more opportunity, and the most important thing, they fuel the innovation and the economy of this country. It's a very important contribution. Remember, no idea just comes from one person. The idea comes from the exchange of students from around the world. In the world of diversity, that's what things shapes. It can't happen by just in one culture. You need to have that opportunity, and that's what you bring to us in this community and to the larger community. And that is the reason why, if you go back to the depth of this court case, you can see there are close to 150 colleges and universities provided an amicus brief, 81 associations provided an amicus brief, and all the top Fortune 500 companies also involved in the court case, trying to support our international students, because historically, current and future, they came here to do good. They didn't come here to do bad things. They came here to do good. So remember, people like you, I know, will go out and do the best to make the world a better place. That's what I've seen in my 20 years service with my fellow internationals. Some move on to be engineers, school teachers, doctors, technology experts, CEOs, and hoping some of you in this conversation will move on to do a movie. Why not?
So I completely agree with you in this matter of like how international students come here and, you know, definitely makes a better place. And not just in this aspect, but we also come here looking for, you know, something better. You know, schools here are usually better than in our own country. The quality of life here is way better. For me, for example, I love my country. I'm from Brazil. But it's so complicated to live over there, you know, and everything is so expensive over there, and we're not safe anywhere we go. It's so dangerous, especially at night. So it does feel good to be in a country where you have comfort, where you're safe. But at the same time, when things like this happen, I feel like I'm really welcoming here, you know. But then we have HCC, we have my friends, we have people that we see, okay, we are here for a reason, and those people are around us to help us to stay here. And I really appreciate that as an international student, you know, going to HCC. And especially for you, Dr. Nithy, you've been helping me a lot. I had a lot of questions in the past, and you answered me, you called me down. I was like, don't worry, we're gonna figure it out. Don't stress out. And you definitely helped me so much. And I really appreciate that.
Obrigado.
See, even speaking Portuguese.
Well, Dr. Nithy.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Nithy, we appreciate all your words of inspiration. Also, some of the people who are watching us right now, just to give context of what's going on, a couple of weeks ago, we had a ruling that international students had to go to school to take face-to-face classes, and there were some limitations on the online classes offering for colleges. Now, I know that everything is uncertain, but Dr. Nithy, how are we navigating this with our international students? Myself, I email daily, well, not daily, but I email my advisors and I get response from them. How do you advise international students to well, of course, email and get in touch with your advisors, but in order not to suffocate them, how can we navigate? What are the online resources that they can go to know what's going to happen in the couple of days?
Carolina, thank you for asking. I know your feelings being an international student. The only mantra I'm going to guide you is to stay calm, because if you see in spring and summer, the guidance was provided that all of us can be online. All right, on July 6th, they throw a huge bomb on all of us, saying that we have to go on the spot. July 14, that got changed by the court. So at this point, there is no guidance yet from SCVP at this moment. So if there's anything I can guide you, just stay calm. I think what you're doing, Carolina, is very important. Stay in touch with your international advisor at my office, and they are being updated every moment about what's happening. Because even now, HEC is working out the fall plan based on the July 6th. Now they have to re-engineer the plan. Stay calm. Don't go anywhere. Don't pack your gear. We all are going to stay in this country and do the best and make our dream come true. Just relax, stay calm, because at this point, the law is not been finalized yet. The July 6th law have no value anymore. So whether I ask you to go and take face-to-face or online have no value yet. So until further guidance, just wait. I have to wait and stay calm. As you said, you connect with my DSOs, continue connecting, because that's the only answer I can provide right now. Just do enjoy this moment, because this moment will never come back again. I know it could be stressful, but just stay calm and relax. We, HEC is very committed to navigate this. The letter from the Chancellor clearly stated that we will help you to stay in this country. That's a very important affirmation, Carolina. So stay calm, relax, enjoy the moment, and we will see what's the greatest news we will pass through this moment.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nithy. And before we move on to some of the questions that our international students and domestic students have over here in our show, I also know that you will have a virtual town hall meeting this Wednesday. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. The virtual town hall was planned for another reason, but ended up going out from another great news, because we wanted to provide a platform for our students to share their thoughts. So as of 3 hours ago, they're going to ask me, what should I do to take classes online, ESL? As of this moment, we won't be talking about that. We're going to talk about the good news that we got, and also give a platform for all our international students to know that they can connect with us. And that's how I'm hoping to have the virtual town hall, to give our international student a platform to share whatever concerns or frustrations, so that we will listen to that. That's what this platform is all about. So that's what we're hoping to hear. If there's any specific questions, I already lined up my team to make sure if it's related to their status or related to their travel plans, whatever, I have my team members will respond to them directly over the chat. So we want to make sure it's like a platform for me to talk about what we are doing. Tomorrow will be a platform for you to share your moments of frustrations or concerns or good news.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony. Caio, who do you have here? Are there any questions from our students?
Yeah, we actually do. I would like to start with Benjamin. Do you have anything that you would like to ask Dr. Nithy?
Yeah, so I was asking, I know that regards to the law from July 6th, like, let's say if students were required to take at least like the one in-person class, should they have priority to enroll in the fall classes, or in the future, because I would give up my spot for somebody who really needs it and just take my class online. That was my question right there.
Benjamin, I hope you will encourage your peers and your fellow students to do the same thing. As of right now, per the court case ruling, that will not happen. So if that happens in the near future, I really encourage you and rising to the moment. This is what is the critical piece, rising to the moment. If you can see your peers who are here on this conversation are the same human being anywhere from around the world. They are here to shape dreams like you, Benjamin. So that's what we are here. If you can give that space to your fellow international student, that exchange will go very, very far, not only in your life, but in the life of the student, but the bigger outcome in the life of our HEC community. I want to applaud for your kindness and your goodwill, and I hope this message will be shared by every fellow students who are here in HEC. Thank you.
Well said, Dr. Nithy. Also, at the beginning, I know that coming the first time to the US, you start taking ESL classes. I did it myself a couple of years ago. Some students are really worried about that. Andres has a question regarding ESL classes.
Yeah, Dr. Nithy, hello. I want to ask you about the international students that are in the beginning of this process, that they are taking English classes. So how HEC will offer the ESL classes on fall?
Andreas, how are you, man? Thank you for the questions. So remember though, as of right now, the July 6th policy said that all ESL classes will be face-to-face, but as of 3 hours, or going to be 3 hours and 30 minutes ago, that law will not apply anymore. So let's be happy and excited. And even before the law came on board, I did had a conversations with our ESL team. They're ready for people who are going to be on face-to-face. They said that should be no problem. But right now, the law have no applicability. So there is no law right now. So you're good. And I'm going to reaffirm this word, stay calm. We will navigate this moment. Staying calm will help all of us. And that's the message I want to share, because in the next 24 hours or 48 hours, more guidance will be coming, hopefully, from the Department of Homeland Security. So the question to Andreas, to you, there is no face-to-face or online classes because the law overcame that problem. Muchas gracias, Andreas.
Muchas gracias, Dr. Nithy.
Eric, do you have anything they would like to ask?
Yes, hello, doctor. I was kind of curious, will all students of international descent have access to student services like financial aid and tutoring with this new online process? I was just curious about that.
Eric, thank you. The way our international students are designed, they might not get financial aid. They're not set up in that way because they come here as an international guest. They pay out-of-state tuition. But along the journey, HEC has been very generous in supporting the spring semester students by some kind of a financial support, not to pay the entire expense, but mitigate some of the challenges. So I think people like you, Eric, you can do the outreach to our fellow international students will be great. But by the law, by the guidance of the federal government, international students are not eligible to qualify for the FAFSA or TAFSA. But our international students may get other types of help through the academic success in their contribution in the community. Also, my office, the International Services and Programs Office, is open to provide all types of student services. I'm sure Carolina, Andreas, and Kiao will understand. That's how I connected to you all to this conversation. So constantly, if you could remind to keep in touch, like what Carolina said, she reached out to the DSO. That's all you have to do. Don't listen to anyone. They might not give you the right information. Reach out to your DSO. They are the one who will guide you and navigate you at this moment. So that's how I see it, Eric. Thank you very much for that question.
You're welcome.
So now let's move on. Do you have any question you would like to ask him?
Yes. How could domestic students, like some of us, help out the international students?
You know, in my research, when I was doing my doctoral degree, the biggest question international students ask is, how do I experience the local culture. Here's the moment where we can unite our fellow domestic students to reach out to our fellow international students because they want to experience the local culture. What is the local culture? That's the question international students are asking, especially in a city like Houston, so diverse, so global. What is the culture? Is that baseball? Is that shopping? Is that going to medical school? Is that playing soccer for the Dynamo? What else is more? The diverse food. Our friends from Colombia, from Brazil. Carolina, I don't know where you are from.
Colombia, you're right.
Colombia, yes. They party. Which city are you from?
Bogota, the capital.
Yes, I've been to that city.
Oh, wonderful.
Andreas, which city are you from, Colombia?
I'm from Neiva.
Neiva. I've not been to that part.
It's
How
near
close
to-
are you to?
It's near to Bogota.
Yes, Bogota. That's high altitude city, am I right? So remember, these are the exchange our local students can experience, am I right? Colombia is a very, very beautiful country. So as Brazil. I was there when they have the samba dance. So think about the lively events that our students can experience, not only in Houston, but around the world. People like Andreas, Carolina, and Kiao can share that experience to our fellow peers, not just to do an outreach of help, but the most important thing, the outreach of cultural understanding. That's what we all came here for. I came here almost 25 years ago to experience the local culture when I was in Minnesota. Now I'm in Houston, I'm experiencing the opposite, very diverse. So who is international and who is domestic? I have no idea. We speak a very diverse languages, diverse food. You turn anywhere, you'll find some cool foods, correct? That's where we are. But I want our domestic students to experience that from people like you, to understand that it's not just we bring in. The culture itself will inspire us to continue this exchange for lifelong.
Well said, Dr. Nithy. Thank you so much for your time. I bet you're really busy right now answering these questions for all our international community. I really appreciate your help keeping us all together and, like you said, diverse and all together in this pandemic that's keeping us all with uncertain decisions to make. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you soon in another show, perhaps.
Thank you very much for having me. The last message I want to share to each one of you, whether you're domestic or international, stay calm. We will navigate this journey together. That's the only way we can pass this pandemic. We can't be an island of itself. We have to be united in this journey so that we can collectively sail together and come out to the other side. Remember, COVID-19 is not an immunity to international or domestic. We all are part of this. So we have to stay united to navigate this moment. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you. Well, Kayo, we're moving on to our last section is entertainment. So related to our topic, what shows are out that are related to international films, documentaries, shows?
So today I actually want to talk about Parasite, which it was an incredible movie that I watched. It was made in South Korean script. Everything was shot over there. It's legit like an outside movie. So I watched the movie at such incredible production. And what I like the most is telling not just the story is great, but they tell the story of characters in their lives over there. So you see the different culture, you see the different houses, you see all the different aspects of the place that they're living in. So I think it was an amazing film, especially, was really well seen and rated here. Like all the Americans and people that live here said, wow, this is a great movie. And that's why it won the Oscar and it definitely deserved it. But I would like to know what Josh has to say.
On the subject of like immigration and movies like that, a movie that usually comes to my mind is Coming to America by John Landis, starring Eddie Murphy. It's about Eddie Murphy's character Akeem, who comes from a fictional African nation of Zamunda, and he doesn't like the whole like African lifestyle that he has, where he's a prince in his nation. He doesn't like that he'd be having an arranged marriage and stuff of that culture. He wants to live the American dream, so he emigrates to New York City and works in like a fast food restaurant. And I think it's similar to how we were just talking about earlier, how we need to help immigrants be like more integrated into our society.
Awesome. And what about you, Benjamin? Do you want to recommend anything today?
Yeah, I have a film that I hold dear in my heart. It's called Under the Same Moon, or La Misma Luna in Spanish. It stars Kate del Castillo as a single mother, and she illegally comes to the United States, crosses the border to provide a better life for her son that she left back in Mexico with his grandma. And due to some circumstances, something happens in Mexico, and the little boy wants to come to the United States to find his mom without telling her. So then it just brings you with the journey of how tough it is actually to come here and assimilate and just trying to find your way, to, because there's even points in the movie where like he has to get like a job to like in order to get to the city where his mom lives. So it's a beautiful story. It makes me cry all the time when I see it. So if you want to give it a try, Under the Same Moon or La Misma Luna. So go check it out.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And you, Andrews, tell me what you got for today.
Okay, Kyle, when I was taking ESL classes, I watched a documentary from Nat Geo that called The Lost Boys of Sudan. It's the story of Peter and Santino that they are teenagers from Sudan. After the civil war in Sudan, they came to America to take classes here, one in Houston and another one in Kansas City. And the documentary is about their life here in America. It's a very good documentary.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And now your turn, Eric.
Hello, Kyle. I want to mention about a movie called Pan's Labyrinth. It was directed and written by famous Spanish director Guillermo del Toro. It's about a little girl who's a daughter of an evil group of Spaniards to invade Europe, attacking people there. And she's drawn to an area called Pan's Labyrinth, full of all these supernatural creatures. But the movie is all done in Spanish, and the entire film crew is all of either Spanish or Latin descent, and it's gotten a number of international awards for different types of aspects of filmmaking. I think it's a very good movie. It's rated R, but if you're into supernatural science fiction, it's very good for a viewer to get into. Back to you, Kyle.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Eric. So, guys, it's time to say bye. I think it was a really interesting show. I learned a lot, and I myself really calm now because, we're going to find a solution. And remember, we're all in this together. Even if you're not an international student, we talk today. We can always find a way to help each other. And I would like to thank everybody to watching us. And don't leave yet. Stay to the end because we're going to be playing the funny video or meme of the week. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you next time.
Well said, Kyle. Myself, I am calm, and I have lots of friends that are going to love this show. It's very informative and enlightening. I love Dr. Nithy's point of view about how diverse Houston is and how even in this crisis, we're all in this together, and HCC is keeping us communicated, and we'll see a light at the end of the tunnel. So thank you so much for watching us. We'll see you on the next time on the Student Lounge.